Hi, I'm Alicia Foxworth, and today we're helping you keep the healthy in your holiday. Only too often do we hear the sad tale of someone that has taken his life due to loneliness during a holiday season. If only we knew what he was going through, we would have given a helping hand. Well, while studying for new certification in the counseling area, Sharon Shaw helps us take a look at the patterns of depression people experience during the holidays. Sharon, thank you for being on our show today, and welcome.
Thank you, Alicia, for having me. It's such an honor to be here today.
Well, I do appreciate you coming in to talk about this very important issue. And I'm very curious to know, why is it that during the most festive time of the year, we find that people are not only feeling lonely, but are willing to harm themselves?
Well, we know that the holidays are about family, so sometimes people are isolated from their families. Either, key people in their families have gone on, and that's really the main reason why they feel lonely during those times. They don't have those family members that brought about those traditions. They're no longer with them, so they kind of isolate themselves. So that's what brings on the loneliness. And they're willing to do harm to themselves because they feel like they don't have any hope,
But what about the community? I mean, we are our brother's keeper, and everyone is out and about singing fa la 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 and just shopping and sharing. So how is it that with all of this activity, people can still feel alone?
Because a lot of times those people that are out shopping and singing fa la 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 la, they have everything that they need. They have key people in their family, like their mom, their dad, people that are holding those traditions, so they don't know what it's like to be alone for the holidays. So they kind of stay to themselves, and they stay within their traditions, and they don't reach out to others who might not have that same support and stability that they have. Sometimes it's not consciously, but it still hurts nonetheless.
So what about the friends? Now, if the family members are absent, where are the friends?
A lot of times people isolate themselves. Sometimes people take on attitudes that might distance them from their friends and maybe other family members that they have, like they're bitter, and people don't want to be around them. They bring them down, so they don't want to be around those type of people. But I say, put yourself in their life.
Yes.
Don't just go on business as usual. If you know that person is alone, they might not have a meal or have anyone around them, put yourself in their life some way,
I think I remember you saying in one of our earlier conversations that there are sometimes signs that people display. What are some of the signs that we should look for if we're trying to determine if someone else is feeling lonely and might be prone to harming themselves at this time of year?
Well, as far as the loneliness, a person that's always by themselves, you never see them going out, or you never even see people coming in to visit them, that's a clear sign. And then you might be at the laundry or the library. Some people actually tell you, I'll be alone this holiday, my kids haven't come to see me, or this person is no longer around. So some people will actually tell you, but there are also subtle signs, like always being by yourself, and even in your talk, like a hopeless talk. And as far as doing harm to themselves, just some people might talk about it.
Okay.
Some people might write about it. And one of the key signs is giving things away. If all of a sudden, a person has a valuable treasure or treasures and they start giving things away, that means that they have plans to harm themselves. They might not necessarily have a plan, but they're starting it.
The intention is there.
Yes, the intention is there, so that's a warning sign.
And that's very scary.
It is.
I think that now, once we've been able to identify those signs, there has to be something that we can do, as people, as brothers, as sisters, as friends. What are some of the things that we can do on an individual basis?
Well, one of the main things you would want to do if that person is giving off those signs, like they're writing about it, talking about it, and giving things away, if you're not a counselor, I'm not telling you to go in there as if you're an expert, but you want to know if they have a plan, or if they have access to weapons to harm themselves. And if it hasn't gone that far and it's just something that they're thinking about because they're lonely, just shower them with love. Take a minute to think about someone other than yourself and just shower them with love. Be there for them. Be that constant in their life. You never know what you might stop.
Okay, that's very important. I'm thinking even now here in New York City, for those of you that are watching us online, we've just gone through Superstorm Sandy.
Oh, yes.
And a lot of people lost so much. They lost their lives. Some people lost their homes, their personal possessions. What do you think that we're going to see during this holiday season now that this storm has passed through our area?
I mean, some people know the importance of getting out alive, and it's not about the home floating away or the material possessions, but for those that don't, I think we're going to see a lot of hopelessness. And with the economy being as it is already, and now with Sandy to come in, I think we're going to see a lot of hopelessness, and I just think people feeling like there's no way, especially with those that are seemingly forgotten as far as their power and food not being sent to them, no aid. I think they're going to feel a lot of despair.
Okay, so this is a huge opportunity for us to really try and help people out.
It is. It's a huge opportunity for us to say, okay, I still have power in my house. I still have heat. I can turn on a light switch and I'm okay. So it's time for us to step out of our houses, our comfort zone, and go see where we can help. Because my job was, I couldn't go to work during this time. I had to go and work at an evacuation shelter, and it just, I mean, it just warmed my heart.
Yes.
To be able to do something. At first I was like, oh my God, you know, you're out of your comfort zone. But when you see the people that you're able to assist, it makes you feel so good to be able to do something for someone else. And it doesn't have to be through an organization. It could be within your own block. You know, you don't need an organization to tell you to go and help somebody, but if they have more resources, of course you want to use them, but we have things within our own means that we can use to help people.
I think sometimes people feel like, I don't have enough to give.
Exactly.
And so then for them, maybe these organizations that do exist are the route to take so that you can be of assistance to people. What are some of the more oriented resources to helping people at this time of year, especially those who have gone through such a disaster or that might be experiencing some loneliness?
If people have access to a social worker, social workers might be able to point them in, you know, the right direction, especially if they're a person that gets food stamps or public assistance. I know that they have social workers working their cases, so I'm sure that they have a lot of resources that they can point them to.
And then there are the community-based organizations like the local churches. I'm thinking right now are probably inundated. Of course, there's the Red Cross and, you know, organizations like New York City Rescue Mission and Bowery Mission, but then some of the more localized groups are usually the houses of worship.
Right, definitely. They always, you know, they're out there giving food during the holidays. Of course, we want it to not only be during the holidays, but that's the main time when people really, you know, have a need for food. So the churches definitely get involved with that, with food baskets and food pantries and volunteers from the church. They would invite, you know, the homeless people that didn't have, they would invite them in for that day of entertainment, food, fellowship, and it gave them some hope to let them know that somebody cares. So we could just extend that, you know, be an extension of that in some kind of way.
And you mentioned volunteering. How important is volunteerism at this time of year?
Volunteerism is so key. You might not have the money, but you have 2 legs, you have 2 arms. I mean, you can walk to the nearest shelter. You can give. It does not have to take $1 million. Some people think, I don't have enough money. But your time. I got to visit with some people who were displaced from nursing homes, and they were so happy. They said just to let us know that somebody cared, a smile, a conversation. The guy was like, some people look at them when they're in that situation as if they don't mean anything because they're older and they might not have family visiting them, but just a smile and a conversation to say, how are you doing, did you get any visitors today, and you be that one, you know? Right.
Well, you know what is so key, and I heard you say it earlier, I just wanted to echo, if you are feeling lonely, sometimes you can just simply lend a helping hand to someone else.
It lifts your spirits. It's definitely a spirit lifter to help someone else.
My goodness. Well, you heard our guest here on today as she has shared, if you are feeling lonely during the holiday season, change the tide of depression by helping someone else.
Yes.
Sharon, thank you.
Thank you.